my God, this is what's wrong with today. The young ladies today, they're not learning from mom how to cook with losing recipes.
So sometimes I just think about what traditions existed from like our grandparents and our great-grandparents that were out of necessity, right? They weren't necessarily thinking about how these practices of survival in some way were actually allowing their children and their grandchildren to stay like rooted and connected, to know where they came from, to know not just who belonged to them, but like what culture belonged to them, what space they had a connection to, what land that their bloodline is tied to, all that type of stuff, right? And I don't, now we go on vacation to Mexico, which isn't bad. Which isn't bad. I'm sure they would have sent, their family international if they could have.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is important in some way to make sure that we're including these like family kinship relational traditions as as the generations progress further away from those of our ancestors who were enslaved at one time, potentially.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff Black folks used to do that they don't do anymore. So I say we play a fun game. Let's have some fun because Juneteenth is coming up, and by the time this show, it'll be Juneteenth. So I say we each
represent
a tradition. Yes, I say we each list a tradition or, traditional Black thing that we used to do that our folks used to do. We each list one that we need to bring back or that we're currently doing. That sound good?
I'm with it.
Okay.
All right, Paul, I'm with it.
Paul, you go. You kick it off. You kick it off.
It's awesome that Nargis was laying that framework and the groundwork on the necessity of things back in the day and how now. So there's a lot of great things that came with generations. There's a lot of great things that we are adhering to, like you were talking about our mental health and wellness. We're adhering to learning that that working isn't the only thing that we need to do. But like Nargis was talking about, with that, there's like a shift in like vacationing and going on experience trips and doing certain things like that. And a lot of families have gotten away from things like family reunion, right? Now, personally, I'm on my way to family reunion fairly soon on Juneteenth, actually. This is our first family reunion on Juneteenth, and I am super psyched about that. You know what I'm saying? Because, we used to normally do it on the 4th of July, only for the mere fact that people are off of work, not because, we ever gave a damn about the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? I know Adam loves the 4th of July. But
man, I got a little bit of patriotism in me. I can't even front. You
know what I'm saying? Adam's front line. But
man, go ahead. Family reunions.
But nah, man, it's such an important, and I think definitely in the climate that we're in right now, Adam, Nargis, I made a post a few days ago just talking to Black Americans. That's who I was talking to. I was talking to Black Americans about having conversations and betterment of our community and having closed-door conversations where we can really get to things. And it set, my timeline on fire. Shout out to all the bots on Threads and all the overtly racist people that left me some really, really, really handsome comments. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Please keep them coming. But it just shows that how important things like family reunion are. At our family reunion, we do ancestry. We let the other generations know what side of the family, who this comes from, and who this is, and this. And we go to we have a family grave site, and we go there and clean it, and everyone goes to church together, and we do all sorts of things like that. And it is super, super important to continually do these things and to honestly continually celebrate our Blackness, like continually celebrate our the climate of the world is crazy. Like we have so many things to deal with. We live obviously in this world. And Adam, you and Nargis, both of y'all know, both of you guys have already went to vote. We already know how voices are being stripped. You understand? So, how our culture is being taken away. I'm very happy with some of the things that are happening now where they're being forced to implement things back into the history that this idiot tried to strip of. You know what I'm saying? So it's super important for us to continue these traditions and keep our families close knit, because I talk about this like all the time, man. For the rest of America, for the whites, for all those people, like, America has you covered. Like, you've been covered by them. There are certain things that we need that are solely for us, and certain things that we just have to get to for us being people that are Americans within all sorts of different elements of the way that people view Americans. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that I'm super happy that these things are starting to come back up. And I know that for our family, we're going to keep on doing.
Hey man, listen, the family reunion, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm actually really happy that you all still do the family reunion.
Yeah.
I haven't had family reunion. I was a little boy. I mean, honestly, just like that traditional black, like
right.
Medea movie family reunion, but everybody wearing
that's how we get down.
Yeah.
You're meeting people that this person supposedly is your cousin or whatever, and you don't know who all this person is. Shout out to my boy Dirk, my brother Dirk. They don't necessarily have family reunions, but they usually have like large family get-togethers, and a person like me will show up who is not technically family, but I'm treated like family, black family, and we take cousins pictures and do all of that stuff. So they technically kind of do a family reunion, but I'm agreeing with you, Paul. Like that idea of like and you laid out all the political and like cultural reasons, but honestly, I just think it's just good to just link up with family and like family.
Yes.
I think it's just like really cool. And my cousin Quinell and I, and my cousin Whitney on my father's side, my cousin Quinell on my mom's side, we've all talked about how, and I think this is important, we're becoming like, in some cases, y'all are like the matriarch and patriarch of your family, depending on how your family set up. I'm not necessarily the patriarch of my family, but I am one of the elder statesmen
of your generations. Yeah, exactly.
And what it is that you're still young enough to still had put in the legwork to put everything together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an uncle now, right? And yeah, I do want to start getting my family back together. And as you see, certain people get older, and that life is precious. Yeah, I agree. I think that is a huge one. That's a major way to not lose recipes, as my man Michael Irvin would say.
Yes, good old Michael Irvin.
Definitely the family reunion. Y'all, we accidentally went live. So we are live, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Let's
live. Go. Yeah. And we have a commenter. Okay, that's my fault because I hit the live button. Y'all,
let's go. Let's go.
I'm glad we live.
Let's go.
All right. Shouts out to Arlene Span.
Hey.
Her comment is,
we still have reunions.
Hey, Mom.
All the time.
Mom.
All the time.
Mom.
We handle business.
All right. So family reunions, that's a given. I think that's a big one that encompasses everything. Nargis, what you got? What tradition would you bring back?
I'm gonna kind of spin off the family reunion piece because, like Paul, I very much look forward to the family reunion.
Let's go.
That I have. It was something that I coveted growing up. And when we didn't go, I was devastated because there was just like this fascination with these distant relations that I never see. Right.
Yeah.
And that's on my dad. It's on my grandmother on my dad's side. So it's the Scales family reunion. But they know when the Fontaine contingent shows up.
Right. Yeah, we're Johnson, Span Johnson. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So and it's something I've always felt drawn to because I've always wanted to return to the place where my dad had stories of being sent to.
Yeah.
Right.
Growing up, my grandmother,
right.
Rest in peace. She was one of 15. And she had 9 children. My dad is one of 9. And she would send asses.
Right. Right?
Yeah.
My
the
father said,
motel.
we would all pile up in the car,
No.
and it
Mhm.
wasn't no seatbelt laws. It wasn't no nothing. They would take
None of
that
that.
road trip
None of that.
Yeah.
to Henry County, Virginia, and drop them Bamas off
Yeah.
so that my grandma could do whatever it was she needed to do. She might have even stayed with them, and my grandpa went back and worked. I don't know. All I know is they cleared house during the summer.
Yeah.
If you wasn't working, you needed to go down the country.
Yeah.
For
And be
sure.
with your aunties and your uncles. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them, it's 15 of them, but there's a nice chunk of them that stayed in Virginia. Some went to New York. Some went to, my grandma went to D.C., but it was a nice squad, and they had a good amount of land and houses so people could kind of divvy up and help,
Yep.
raise the cattle, chop some trees.
Raise the cattle.
Raise the cattle
No, I'm
out
saying
that job.
my great uncles raised cows. Like
I
they
love it.
sold cattle.
Let's
You know what I'm saying?
go.
So
Let's
That's dope.
go.
Still kind of wild. I'm sorry, but it's great.
Man.
hey, so and I was like well into my teenage.
What
so,
damn year
so
was this?
that, I don't know. Daddy was born in like 49, so
Yeah.
59.
I can dig
No,
it.
Daddy was born
I
in
can
48,
dig
so
it.
like 58.
You know
early
what?
60s.
But
Just
to that
the phrase of selling of cattle is rather funny.
No, 100%. But to that point though, my family, the Butler side, is mostly from Sandy Spring, Maryland. There's like a little museum in Sandy Spring, Maryland that has like they were the Buds at the time. That have like a bunch of us in the museum. So as a family,
That's lit.
we do go to that museum in Sandy Spring, and there's a house in Sandy Spring with a lot of my relatives. My grandfather grew up in the house, and I used to go to that house, and that joint had an outhouse. Okay,
Right.
just cause to go to the bathroom,
My grandfather had an outhouse.
Yeah.
The stuff is why this is cool is because this stuff is not from. It sounds ancient. Raise the cattle, go to the outhouse.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Pump the water.
It ain't that old.
But it's not that old, bro.
Yeah.
It's not that at all, and it's still touch it. You can still go touch it and feel it, and that's what's so dope.
And let me tell you, I say this all the
100%.
time. When the zombies come, that's where I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, for real. No, I hear you.
Back, where you need to be. Yeah, most
Because my
definitely.
cousins that's down there, they know how to kill bears. I got a cousin that hunts bears.
Hey, well, you need it
And his
because
brother
you have
rides
close
horses.
encounters with bears. So that's important for someone like you. It's very important. I'm with that.
We gonna bring it back to 10.
Mom said our family sold milk and eggs too.
Hey,
look, and we had like there was a corner store. Like my great grandfather had a corner store that they sold the stuff that they raised out of. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
That's
like
that's what I'm saying.
Black entrepreneurship out of survival and necessity, right?
Yeah.
I got 15 mouths to feed.
Yeah.
What you need? What can I do to make a dollar? So all that to say, my child is currently in Maryland.
Right. There's a shift.
Oh.
And I'm okay. Like she's coming back, but like I as someone who would have liked to maybe have had the opportunity to regularly be sent away with my cousins, for a week or two, to be of the space and the culture or what have you, and like to make those connections with the relatives that otherwise I would only see you once a year at the family reunion.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we've been, all of his family is here, and the majority of my family is there, with the exception of my brother.
Right.
So, they had floated the idea to me probably when she was like 1. Like, hey, think about it. We could keep her because I want her to know her Maryland side. I want her to know her Maryland cousins.
It's important.
I want her to be around my father. Like, I want her to have a relation. Like, I don't want my family to be the once a year special occasion family to her. Right. So this hopefully will be, the first of many.
Yeah.
Go instead of going south, you going north.
Going up north. Right. Going up north.
North south. To be with your Maryland folks.
Right.
And then come back down and and then hopefully, maybe some of my nieces or my nephews want to, come down here.
Come down and
my nieces were in California.
Yeah.
They kind of have their own little tradition of like, because they're all like in the same age. So, you know, sometimes one of us might fly with my niece to take her out to California to spend time with my brother and to come back, you know. So I think we have tried to be very intentional about making sure that our kids have relationships with each other and to
Yeah.
No
not
doubt.
allow distance to impact that. And I think sometimes, just to tie it back to a tradition, right? I know. Sometimes a lot of that came from, you know, a survival necessity, and then one of like the beautiful collateral consequences of that survival was having a connection to that land and having a connection to not just your blood relatives, but also your kin relatives who may have grown up 3 doors down and know stories about your family. It ain't a lick of genetic commonalities at all, but that's still family because
Family
these
and
families
community.
grew up
Yep.
together. These families all go to church together, type of thing. And those are just certain. Those are certain, in my mind, very Southern like traditions and mindsets that I think is very important to like not lose. You know, going back to what Adam said, you know, y'all might as well be relatives. You know, ain't no problem for you to show up and ain't nobody who's that? Oh, that's
That's Adam.
He can come in.
Right.
I tell you,
and I'm gonna get a plate.
100%.
100. Right.
100%. Hey, I'll tell you something funny. We talking about like families being close or whatever. Because the Black family, you know, it's really about the community. You got your blood family, and then you got your people that you just grew up. Or my uncle this, my auntie this, TT that. People just friends, basically, of your mom, but they aunties and uncles. When I first met my wife, we was like, okay, it's time to get the family together. You know what I mean? Let's get the family together. So, her mom, her aunt came over. My dad, my aunt, and my mom were all in our old house in the backyard, right? And my aunt Doris keeps looking at her aunt Penny. She's looking, I noticed it, like, why are you looking at her like this? Just looking at her. And she was like, you look like somebody. Okay.
You're like, I am somebody.
Like somebody.
Right.
You know LeGrand? And Penny goes, yeah, that's my godmother. My aunt Doris goes, LeGrand is my best friend. We've known each other forever. It turns out that her one of her great, if she was in here, she'd better explain, but one of her like uncles or her grandfather, somebody like that, hung out with my Uncle Thomas. These dudes was like in a car accident together and shit, and like survived it. And like our family had known each other for generations. So much stuff.
Right.
That she and I were nervous because I was like, oh my God, are we like, you know,
hey,
we
y'all out this joke. Y'all out
it
this
is what it
joke.
is.
Hey, Darkest and I found out we were distant cousins, so I understand.
Yeah, but me and Jim were.
That's why we've always been the greatest of friends.
Right, never married with children.
Yeah, me and Jim were engaged.
You're not in the least bit.
Yeah, we had already done the Game of Thrones thing, so we were, you know,
right. Hey, bruh, hold on. So for that, whatever amount of seconds, when you were just sitting there going, you know, into the tennis, when you this way with it and that way with it and that way with it, and you listening, what was going through your head if you would have heard?
Oh, I just told you. We were wondering. I was legit wondering. Oh my God, is one of these people going to say my actual blood brother and your aunt are like we're related? Luckily, it was black. But a man, that's my best friend. It was that type of thing. All right,
it was congratulations on not being married to your cousin.
That's what I'm saying. Me and her, I joke about it all the time. I'm serious. Like, it's done at that point. Like it was done. We just gonna have to be. You know, we just had to hope the children out properly. Shouts out to Erica. Hey, what's up, Erica? Thanks.
Hey,
yeah, man.
Hey, that is hilarious.
Yeah, man. Luckily, that's not the case. Our children are healthy. There's no,
I'm very glad it worked out well. Hey, sis, what's happening? I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad you're not sister cousin.
But we related now the right way.
The
Okay,
proper way. Yeah. The proper way that would never be frowned upon.
Non-incestuous.
Yeah. So, anyhow, yeah, I like that. Kids down south or up north or wherever you're sending them, you get those traditions. And yes, the down south doesn't always have to be like the deep, unless your family's from there, obviously. But we were sending our people to Sandy Spring, send them to the country. The country is 40 minutes away from me. Send them to the country,
right?
You know,
100%. But I think even what Noggs was talking about is indicative of the time shift and indicative of certain things because of economy and all those things. A lot of people that were further up north are moving back down south. So that concept of sending your children up north is different. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way that certain migrations have happened. Like nowadays, I know a host of people that are moving down south for economic reasons and all of those things. So I think that's an interesting part of it too.
Facts. I like it. All right, I'll close it out real quick. You all hit the big ones, which I think is I think most people would agree with. I'm going to bring this up because it happens. It was interesting to me. We went to a cookout with some like daycare parent friends. They are friends, but we met them through daycare, so it's like parents and the kids or whatever. And it was a cool cookout. But the food gets ready, everybody's about to go, and then my man is like, "Let's bless the food." Now that don't sound like a big deal. I'm sure a lot of people do this, but I hadn't seen it happen at a cookout or something non-Thanksgiving, non-Christmas in a long time, and especially amongst friends. I've seen, and you go to Thanksgiving and your family, your auntie or your mom or somebody's like, "Let's bless the food" or whatever, right? But I hadn't seen that amongst a bunch of younger adults. Hey, let's hold hands. Let's stop. Put your plate down.
Right.
Stop. Hold hands. Let's bless this food. And somebody's going to give a very generous and heartfelt prayer over the food. And it made me think wow, this is really cool. So that's something that I think that we should, if you haven't already been doing it, again, outside of Thanksgiving, outside of Christmas and the big holidays or big giant family gatherings, I think blessing the food, no matter what your religion or your belief is, even if you aren't really a big believer, but just coming together and being thankful for what we have, thankful for where we are, the fact that we can have a big cookout with all of our kids together. We all able to pay for this daycare and do all of the nice things. And we in somebody's house and the house is nice in the middle of the city and all of that stuff we sometimes can take for granted. I think blessing the food and being thankful and openly thankful for what we have and where we are, especially as Black folks, is vitally important. I think the old folks really had a handle on that. And I think over the years, we kind of, and again, because of where some people stand with their religion or whatever, I'm not getting into that. But I think it's just, we could go back to really just being openly thankful for what we have and openly thankful for the community that we have. And holding hands and touching and agreeing and saying we thankful that we're here.
And exchanging that energy.
Exchanging that energy. So that's going to be my recipe that I think we need to not lose and get back. Definitely 100%. Bless that food before you eat, man.
Practicing gratitude.
That's it. Gratitude. And that's it. I think like you said, obviously there's been so many thought processes on the elements of religion and the people that, what they want to specify as and all of these things. But just that element of gratitude and energy shift and, like you said, grounding. Touch your family member's hand. Let's all be in some element of one accord. And like you said, we're not talking about stringencies of religion, but no matter what you think, no matter what you believe, touch your family member, hold their hand. We're all here. We can get into the nuance of what we individually think, but let's all be here. Let's all be present. You know what I'm saying? So I really, I feel you on that one, bro.
Yeah. So this was cool, man. Listen, Juneteenth is around the corner. Juneteenth is one of those ones. At my old job, and I don't think this was because of any I'm not trying to accuse anybody of being racist or nothing like that, but at my old job last year, they did not have Juneteenth on the docket. You know what I mean?
They were racist.
As a day. As wild was what I loved. Hey. What was wild was what I really loved is that every black person took PTO to the point where the CEO, probably because I think she kind of just forgot, honestly, because they're not
Right.
black and it's not important to them. And I'm not trying to cape for them. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Literally
Right.
just gave us, like, put Juneteenth back on the calendar. We ain't have to do nothing wild. We ain't have to, do no crazy shit. All we did was just put PTO in and just remind it. Juneteenth is a thing.
Right.
All right. So celebrate Juneteenth. My man Paul is a lot more radical than I am when it comes to these holidays, but I agree that it should be just as big of a deal as 4th of July. So we're going to do that. And
Absolutely.
if you can, go to a family reunion, plan a family reunion next summer. You know what I mean? Send your kids down south with the family and pray over that. All right.
100.